of steward, the definition of that,
Définition en gérant,
it means to manage.
c'est un monde qui manœuvrer un bagay.
The word is described okonomai in the Greek. Okonomai.
Et dans grec, moi c'est okenomai.
Okonomai.
Okenomai.
That's in the Greek.
Ça c'est dans langue grecque là.
Stewardship means you're faithful
Gérant c'est ou fidèle
with another man's belongings.
avec un lot bagay que un monde possédé.
So God gave Adam and Eve
Et alors Dieu te bay Adam et Ève
stewardship of the earth,
et pour gérer et terre là.
but they
Monde
messed
là.
it up.
Et yo détruit.
They wanted to be the owners.
Yo te vle pour yo mettre là.
No, he gave us stewardship.
Non, li bon pour gérant, but li pas de bon mettre.
They wanted to be the owners like God was.
Yo te vle mettre la même Jean Dieu yé.
We were already made in his image and likeness.
Et nous te get fait à image li et éclairage li.
Adam and Eve wanted to judge and rule the earth.
Et Adam et Ève yo te vle juger et régner terre là.
They didn't just want to be stewards of the earth.
Et yo pas seulement vle gardien, gérant terre là.
Now, I've had some people tell me,
Et quelqu'un moun qui dit,
hey, Justin,
et Justin,
God doesn't need my money.
hein?
God doesn't need my money.
Dieu pas besoin l'argent.
You're right, God doesn't need your money.
Oui, ou bien ça dit, ah, bon Dieu pas besoin l'argent.
He needs his money
Li besoin l'argent pas.
because the earth is the Lord's
Et parce que terre là lui appartient à lui-même.
and everything in it.
Et tout ça qu'il a donné c'est pour lui.
We're just stewards of it.
Et nous seulement gardiens gérants.
The kingdom living
Et royaume vivant,
is when we rely on somebody else.
c'est les nous appuyer sur l'autre monde
We don't live for ourselves.
et nous pas vivre pour tête nous.
Kingdom living is being radically generous.
Un royaume vivant c'est le radicalement généreux.
In my head,
Et dans tête li,
I'm always trying to find ways that I can bless people.
li toujours fait vision pour le bénir moun.
Because I've shown that I can be faithful with another person's money.
Et parce que li montre que li a fidèle avec un l'autre moun qui n'a besoin.
Everything you have is another man's.
Et tout ça que vous gagnez, c'est pour l'autre moun lié.
You are a steward of what God gives us.
Ou c'est gardien ça bon Dieu ba ou a.
2 Corinthians 9, verse 8.
Et 2 Corinthiens 9 verset 8.
And God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that you, always having all sufficiency in all things, may have an abundance for every good work. So I want to talk about every good work.
Li pral parler à propos de tout bon travail.
The problem we have as a church gathering,
Et problème nous gagne en tant que l'église qui réunit.
we like to think the only good works
Nous remet penser seul bon travail là,
are our good works.
c'est bon travail pas nous.
But there's other good works that are helping out in this area, in the world.
Et mais gagne l'autre bon travail qui aider l'autre monde.
Us taking a harvest offering in 2 weeks
Et nous-mêmes qui pral prend offrande moisson dans 2 semaines,
is about giving to other good works,
c'est bail l'autre bon travail.
not just stuff we're doing as a church.
Pas seulement bagay que n'a fait en tant que l'église.
Last week,
Semaine passée,
we did a food drive at Shop and Save in Petersburg,
et yo te font food drive dans Bon Shop and Save là dans Petersburg.
and Brittany helped us out with the food
Et
drive,
Madame Whitney te aidé nous avec food drive ça.
and we collected a pallet of food for those in need.
Et yo te collecté un pile manger pour moun qui besoin.
We took the food down to Living Waters Ministry in downtown Petersburg and donated the food to them.
Et yo pote manger à on côté qui le Living Water qui bay manger dans Petersburg, yo pote le bay moun sa yo.
And do you want to hear what Living Waters did for us?
Et est-ce qu'on besoin connaître ça et Living Water te fait pour yo?
I didn't ask them for
Li
anything.
pas demander yo pour rien.
We brought them a pallet worth of food.
E yo pote yon pil manje.
And they looked at us, they said, "Hey, Justin,
E yo gade, yo di, hey, Justin,
do you need coats for little kids?"
esko bezwen kote pou ti moun piti, jacket pou ti moun piti?
I said, "What?
E li di ki sa?
Yeah, do you need coats for little
Yo
kids?"
mande, esko bezwen jacket pou ti moun piti?
Absolutely, we do.
E li di, oui, absolument.
We have an event November 16th. We have an event November 22nd in Matthias. We have an event November 29th in Baird. That's a lot at once. I'm sorry.
E yo gen an pil evenman nan mwa novembre lan.
But we're giving coats out to all these small communities around where we live.
Men y a bay kote pou tout ti kominote piti ki entoure nou.
I said, "Yeah, we need coats for the kids that are in need."
Li di, oui, nou bezwen kote pou ti moun ki bezwen yo.
So my wife and I went to pick up the coats.
Alors, li men madame ni yale, yal pran jacket sa yo.
Justin thought it would be 5 coats.
E Justin te pense te 5 ti gren kote,
Okay.
etc. E pi li di, ok.
Let's go. Let's pick up some coats.
E li di, an al pran ti kote sa yo.
They gave us 50 coats.
E yo bay yo 50 jacket.
And they said, "If you need more, come back.
E yo di, sou bezwen plus, retourne.
We'll give you more coats for your outreach and what you're doing."
E yo di ke na ba ou plus jacket pou sa wap fè.
So there's more than just Love Christian Assembly doing good works in the area.
E gen plus ke Love Christian Assembly ka fè bon travay, gen lot toujou.
So last week I talked about where we're going to give the money to.
Semaine passée, te pale ki kote yo pral bay l'ajan.
So 25% of the offering
25% nan ofrande sa ya
is
pran.
going to go to 2 food pantries.
E yo prale nan 2 food pantry bay ki bay manje pou free.
One in Petersburg, one in
E
Moorfield.
Yon nan Petersburg, yon nan Moorfield, kote ki bay manje gratis.
The other 25%,
E lot 25%,
we're going to buy hats, gloves, and scarves for kids.
e ya pral achete bonnet, gants e bagay fula pou pase nan kou pou ti moun.
And socks.
E chaussette tout.
And we're going to make sure that no child in this entire area has to go to school cold.
E make sure ke pa gen ken ti moun ka viv nan environnement sa prale l'école fret.
Another 25%
On lot 25%,
is going to go to our transportation costs.
li prale nan transportasyon.
Last week I told you about our bus and our van.
Semaine passée, te pale nou de bus la e de van nan.
This year it costs $150 a week to run the bus and the van on Sundays.
Semaine sa li koute yo $150 en semaine pou yo te kapab kouri bus la nan semaine nan.
And when we did English classes with pilgrims,
E le yo te fe klas anglais avek pilgrim.
that helped us pay for the bus financially on Sundays.
Sa te ede yo peye pou bus la financièrement nan dimanche.
But pilgrims did not do an English class in the fall,
Men
this time of the year.
ane sa pilgrim pa fe klas anglais.
And pilgrims said, "We're not sure what's going on with immigration. We're going to sit tight for now." They're like, "We don't know."
Pilgrim di yo pa konen ki sa ka pase avek imigran yo, so ya prete nan seul posisyon pou konya.
So that was a fundraiser to help us pay for the bus. We don't have that now.
Sa sete yon la eleve de fond ki te ede yo pou peye pou bus la, but yo pa gen sa ankor.
I'm not sure what's going to happen next year for English class. I don't know.
Li pa konen ki sa ki pral pase lot ane pou klas anglais ya, li pa konen.
But I've said it before, what you don't support goes away.
E li di sa deja, sa ou pa sipote, li ale.
So I want to make sure we still have money for the bus and our transportation costs.
E li vle pou make sure ke nou toujou gen l'ajan pou transportasyon de bus nou.
Do you know that Mike drives the bus for free? You know that, right?
Eske nou konen ke Mike li kondu bus la pou gratis?
Mike doesn't get paid to drive the bus.
E Mike yo pa paye Mike paske la kondi bus la.
Mike volunteers his time to drive the bus.
Mike li leve e avek prop konsentement li kondi bus la pou san l'ajan.
So the cost for the bus is gas, insurance, maintenance. It's just the basic necessities for the bus and the van.
Nou bezwen gaz e bagay ki pou ranger kaoutchou, etc. Travay nan bus la, se poutet sa yo bezwen.
And last but not least,
E denye bagay,
the other 25%
lot 25%
is going to go to an orphanage in Haiti.
li prale nan orfelina nan Haiti.
It's called Chosen and Cherished Ministries.
Li rele Chosen and what?
Chosen and Cherished Ministries.
Chosen and Cherished Ministry.
Yes.
Ko sa li rele.
Yes. And this morning, they're going to join us online.
Et matin yo pral rencontrer nous en ligne.
And this is flowed from God's littlest angels.
Et gen un paquet timoun.
And so, JR, will you play the video? I'm going to show the video. The video's in English.
Et li pral montre vidéo en anglais.
When we go to Haiti, they're going to speak in Creole, but the video's in English. But I want you to watch the video
Li tan reme pou gade vidéo
in English real quick.
en anglais bien vite.
Can you make it large? Yeah. I need volume.
Never did I imagine coming down here to adopt 10 children in Haiti. That was not my intention. That's not what I came down here to do. The kids call me Joyce. My youngest calls me Mom. My others call me Mom when they want something from me. But the kids mostly call me Joyce. That's what they knew me as for 5 years. All right, guys, we gotta get going.
Joyce Trainer is the founder of Chosen and Cherished Ministries, which is the forever home of 10 children from insufferable circumstances. Joyce's passion for Haiti started long before she met her children. She moved to Haiti at the age of 19 to work in an orphanage as an English teacher. It was there that 8 years later she would meet her children for the first time, never imagining in that moment that one day they would be hers. In 2012, an orphanage referred to as Sister Donna's was shut down after reports that the 90 kids there were unsupervised, neglected, abused, and exploited, and that the orphanage was engaged in human trafficking. Haitian Social Services, IBESR, and the local authorities arrived at the orphanage and forcefully removed all the children, dividing them into groups. The smallest children were unexpectedly brought to GLA, where Joyce was.
So as social services brought them and set them down, without us knowing their names, their ages, and whom they belonged to or anything like that, these 21 little tiny, exhausted souls sat there. I just remember so much life being missing from them. I just, like, empty eyes and just a lot of hurt, obviously, clearly going on, not to mention physically, open gaping wounds, sores, clearly emotional scarring going on.
Every effort was made to find and reunite these children with any living relatives, and several were. But IBESR finally gave up and declared the rest orphaned. However, unlike other orphan children at GLA, the government would not release them for international adoption. Years passed. As the kids got older, they watched all of their friends get chosen, adopted, and taken into loving families, knowing this would never happen for them.
In January of 2016, I felt as if God was calling me away from the organization that I had been working with. I couldn't feel peace about walking away. And so I remember sitting on the floor of my bedroom, actually, and I remember sitting with my Bible open and saying, God, if you want me to go, show me or explain to me how you're going to move these kids in a different direction. I said, find someone that wants to take this on. And it was the funniest thing, because as clear as I asked, I remember him saying, it's you.
Joyce opened the doors of CCM in 2017, and with the approval of IBESR, moved her 10 children into their very own home for the first time in their lives.
We set aside every Saturday night to be our family night, so we call in for local dinner, which is absolutely our favorite, rice and beans, amazing barbecued chicken, and we go and pick it up as a family. We come home, we pick a new movie that maybe just came out recently, we put it on the big screen, and we snuggle together as much as we possibly can. We eat food, we drink Coke, and we basically stuff ourselves and have an amazing time together. My biggest joys as a family is bringing together those little simple kind of dumb moments that you don't think are going to become family moments. We end our day in devotions because I think no matter what's going on in our day, it's important to bring it back to Jesus. So we all get together and read God's word and spend time in prayer, because it's important for us to bring it right back to who he is. All of my children were severely malnourished when they first arrived. We're still dealing with the effects of that daily in ways such as stunted growth, cognitive developments, as well as learning disabilities. It is hard for some of them to be willing to trust because all they've known in life is loss, and that's something that's just actually been consistent in their life. So to have someone to promise them and tell them that this is forever, or that I'm going to be there, or that no matter what you do or what choices you make, that doesn't stop the love.
Okay, so she's having 4, so we gotta put 2 more in there.
I think my kids have a good idea of what they would like to do in life, and I think as they come to me and say, you know, I want to be a pilot, or I want to be a vet, that they really get the idea that they have the opportunity to do something bigger in life, or they have the opportunity to do something great in life. And I think that's a really awesome thing to know, that those passions or those things that they desire is potentially an option in their future. My hope for my kids are to ultimately love Jesus and to bring others to Christ. Honestly, I can't say that I want this or that or something else for them other than to make a decision to follow Christ.
These children have come a long way from their painful past, but there is still a long road ahead, and they cannot do it alone. Consider partnering with the CCM family and help give these kids the opportunity for a future full of possibility.
Okay, so that's Chosen and Cherished Ministries.
Ça c'est Chosen and Cherished
Ministries.
Ministries.
So we have a way to get them money,
Et yo gon façon que yo fait pour yo voyer l'argent pour yo,
a safe way to get them money,
en façon qui c'est et qui
so the government
protective
doesn't
sécurisé.
take it.
Et pour gouvernement pas voler.
We have a way to get them money through New York City, so it goes to the orphanage and no one touches it but the orphanage.
Et gon façon yo voyer l'argent à New York et yo voyer la Haïti que seulement orphelinat qui prend, pas gen l'autre monde qui gen accès ensemble avec.
So in 2 Sundays, it's Harvest Sunday,
Dans 2 dimanches, c'est dimanche moisson.
and we're going to take a special offering for those 4 items I talked about.
Et nous pral prendre une offrande spéciale pour ti moun sa yo.
And I'm speaking to you as your pastor and your friend Justin.
Et la parler ensemble avec comme pasteur et ami ou Justin.
If everyone comes in 2 weeks on Harvest Sunday,
Si tout moun vini dans 2 semaines dans dimanche moisson ça,
and everyone gives $1,
et chaque moun bay un grain dollar.
that means we're going to send a $12 check to Haiti.
Ça veut dire nous pral voyer $12 bay Haïti.
That's not blessing them.
Ça pas bénédiction.
I want to bless them.
Li vle pour nous bénir, ça veut dire
God has been very good to us.
bon Dieu était vraiment bon ensemble avec nous-mêmes haïtiens qui là.
And so I set a goal for the church of $10,000 I want to raise in 2
Et
weeks.
li fait un goal pour l'église là, pour nous voyer $10,000 à Haïti et pour yo raise $10,000.
Look on the board in the back.
Et gardez dans bac là, ça c'est objectif l'église là.
Look on the board.
Gardez derrière
It says $10,000.
$10,000.
I want to send a $2,500 check to Haiti.
Li vle voyer $2,500 by Haïti.
So as your leader,
Et comme leader ou,
I said last week,
et li dit semaine passée,
my wife and I are going to give
li
$1,000
même madame li nan 10,000 ça y a bay 1,000
for the fundraiser.
et pour élever de fonds ça.
Now, you all know that Justin has a job outside the church,
Et
right?
nous tous connaissons que Justin gon travail et l'el pas dans l'église al gen propre travail par lui-même.
Does everyone know I have a
Est-ce
job
que tout le monde connaît que le gon travail lui-même?
in Washington, D.C.?
Li travaille Washington DC.
Do you know that?
Est-ce que nous connaissons ça?
I work in D.C.
Li travaille à Washington DC.
So this is money from my job that my wife and I are going to give to the
Et ça
church.
c'est quoi que le prend qui sorti dans travail li que la bail là.
So I'm going to jump online, but I want to say one thing before I bring Joyce up. I want to say one thing before I get Joyce on the overhead.
Et li vle di yon gen bagay avant que yore l'orphelinat.
2 Corinthians 8:7.
Et 2 Corinthiens 8, verset 7.
Since you excel in so many ways,
Comme ou accélérer dans plusieurs façons,
in your faith,
dans la foi
you're gifted speakers,
et dans bayou
your knowledge,
et dans intelligence ou,
your enthusiasm,
et enthousiasme ou,
and your love from us,
et l'amour pour nous.
I want you to excel also in the gracious act of giving.
Et l'État remet tout pour accélérer, pour augmenter tout dans grâce bail là.
Will you help me out in 2 weeks?
Est-ce qu'on est capable d'aider dans 2 semaines?
Will you help me out in 2 weeks,
Est-ce
please?
qu'on est capable d'aider dans 2 semaines, s'il te plaît?
All right, so let's get Joyce up here.
Et après l'orphelinat.
All right.